The camera's right in front of me, but I'll be looking back and forth. I don't know what I think about that. So anyway, sit up straight. Bring your hands behind your hips, press your hands into the floor, lift up. Move your arm bones back to broaden across your collarbones and bring your shoulder blades into your back. Keep the lift and openness in your chest as you release your hands to your thighs and close your eyes. Descend your thighs. With even and equal weight, your two sitting bones lengthen up through the front of your body. Move your arm bones back to bring your shoulder blades onto your back. Soften your neck and throat. Release your jaw. Rest your tongue into the base of your mouth. Take slow, even breaths. And then gently open your eyes. Extend your legs out. Bring your legs to the opposite cross. Take your right hand on the floor, lift your left arm up. Press down with your right hand and push your weight into your left hip. And then bring your right arm over your head. You can move your right arm forward as your left arm comes further and further over. Turn your chest towards the ceiling. And press down with your right hand to push your left buttock down. Come back to the center. Place your left arm on the floor, lift your right arm up. Inhale with your exhalation, move to the side. Push down with your left hand to push your right buttock into the floor. Come further over, keep your top arm straight. Turn your chest towards the ceiling. Maybe come over a little more. Keep pressure in your left hand and in your right buttock. Come back to the center. One hand either side of your right leg. Lift your chest. Fold over your right leg. I need something for my ankles. So if you also need something for your ankles, there you go. Okay. Then fold over your right leg. Walk your left hand further and further forward. Walk both hands forward, so they're in front of you. And then over to the left. And walk your right hand further forward. Come back to the center and lift up. Change the cross of your legs. Take your right hand on the floor, lift your left arm up. Inhale, lift up, exhale, fold to the side. Further and further over, but at the same time, don't turn towards the floor, turn towards the ceiling. Come back up to the other side. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come over to the side. Further and further over, turn towards the ceiling. Come back to the center. One hand either side of the right thigh. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold over your right thigh. Extend your left arm away. Walk your hands in front of you, so they're in the center. And then walk your hands to the left, extending further through the right hand. Come back up. Okay, come over to your hands and knees. Swanasana. Spread your palms, tuck your toes under, lift your hips high. Use the pressure of your hands to push your hips back. Turn your upper arms out. At the same time, put pressure on the index finger and thumb. Relax your neck. Move your chest towards your thighs and move your thighs away from your chest. And then bend your knees. Take your knees wide apart, big toes together. Rest back and child's pose. And come back up. All right, I want you to watch just for a second because we're going to do Parigasana at the wall, and you might have to turn around, depending on how your setup is. So one leg's going to go to the wall, and the other leg will make this square. So this is the first position, and we'll come over. The second position is the leg straight. And if you tend to hyperextend, don't put your hand on your shin, put it on a block, or take it down to your ankle. So this is second position. And then the third position, you know where your foot was. So that's where you put your knee, and you'll come over to the wall. All right? So kneel up next to the wall. And I'm not going to say right and left leg because I only have the one wall where I can see the camera here. So have one leg against the wall and take the other leg out in the square. So that the leg that is towards the center of the room, push that heel in to push your hips into the wall. And then the arm that is against the wall, lift up the wall. See if you can get up a little higher with the arm at the wall. Then turn your palm towards the center of the room and come over to the side. So you can rest your other arm on your leg, or you can bring it down to the floor. But don't let the leg against the wall leave the wall. So keep pressing with the leg that's in the center of the room to get that hip to the wall. Now at the same time, you might feel some bunching up of the waist on the side that's coming over. So push your open leg hip towards forward, rotate your chest towards the ceiling, and then take your down arm further forward. Give yourself some space. Inhale, come back up. Now all you have to do is straighten the leg that's in the side of the room. The toes can be up or the toes can be down. My toes don't point very well, so my toes are up. Take the outer hip of that leg and push it down. That'll give you a little more room. Then the same thing, the arm that's at the wall, walk up the wall. Press down with the shin of the leg at the wall. So you get more and more space in the torso. Then turn your palm towards the center of the room and come over to the side in Parigasana gate pose. Keep pressing your hip at the wall towards the wall by pushing down with the heel of the opposite foot. Rotate your chest towards the ceiling and move the leg that's in the center of the room, move that hip underneath you. See how far you can walk out towards the foot. And inhale and come back up. All right. Now you're gonna have to turn around. So for me, that would look like this, to do the same side. So you want your foot that was in the center of the room to be at the wall. And then the knee that was at the wall is in the center of the room, obviously, I guess. So the foot that is now at the wall presses into the wall, and that keeps this hip from sliding over, or it's probably not going to slide the other way. All right. Then lift the center arm up, just like you're walking up the wall. Turn the palm towards the wall and slide over towards the wall. And if you hit the wall with your top arm, press into the wall to help you turn and put more weight on the bent knee leg. And you can walk your hands down the wall, or your hand down the wall. And I guess the other one is pressed too. Turn your chest towards the ceiling. Inhale, come back up. And bring your legs back together. All right, so the second side. And so first position with the Both legs bent, one leg out. Kathy, should your other leg be up the wall? Oh wait, that's not. Is that? Yeah, that is Kathy. So the let's see, that is your right leg should be against the wall, is it? Unless you did the other side last time, but either way, the first.
I did the other side last time.
Okay, but the leg that's going to be always the bent leg is the one against the wall.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, well maybe I just, okay. All right, then bend this leg to the end. Yes. All right, now reach your wall arm up the wall. Take your other arm on your leg. Turn your wall arm towards the center of the room and come over to this side. So either on your leg or possibly on the floor. But keep the leg that's against the wall on the wall. Don't let it slosh over. At the same time, rotate your chest towards the ceiling. So use the pressure of the leg that's in the center of the room to keep the other leg at the wall. Inhale, come back up. Now straighten the leg that's in the center of the room. Tuck that buttock under, so it's not lifting up, it's going under. So leg can be straight or foot can be flexed or straight. Traditionally it's straight. Walk your wall arm up the wall. Turn the palm towards the center of the room and come over to the side. Keep the wall leg pressing into the wall by pushing down with the opposite heel. Rotate your chest towards the ceiling. Come a little further down. Inhale, come back up. All right. Now wherever your center heel is, that's where you're going to put your knee. And then, oh yes, I turn around. You will have to turn around. There we go. I have no idea which side that was. Let's see. Yes, okay. If I don't know, I guess you're probably lost too. All right. So now press the foot that's in the wall into the wall to move to keep the hip in line with its own knee. Then lift the room side arm up and bring it over and see if you can reach the wall. You can reach the wall, press into the wall. Rotate your chest towards the ceiling. Keep your straight leg buttock turned under and rotate some more.
This is a straight leg.
Inhale, come back up. All right. And then go into Adho Mukha Svanasana. So feel the effects on your torso with that Parigasana pose. Maybe a little more length in the waist or the chest. All right, walk your feet towards your hands, fold into Uttanasana. Stretch the backs of your legs, lift your quadriceps up. Place your hands on your hips, inhale, come back up. All right, if you use blocks for standing pose, go ahead and get some blocks. We're going to be doing the lateral standing pose, just a couple. I guess Paridasana is considered a standing pose too. Press evenly on the balls of your feet and your heels. Lift your quadriceps up, lift your chest, roll your shoulders back. Bring your hands in front of your chest, take your arms and legs wide. Turn your legs to the right. Take your right hand down, take your left arm on your waist. All right. Now, move your right leg forward. Take your left, roll your abdomen to the left or towards the ceiling, however your legs think of it. So right leg forward, abdomen turns towards the ceiling. Then lift your left arm up. Turn the palm towards your head side and take it out over your head. If it reaches the wall, push into the wall. Then bend your right leg. Move your right buttock forward as you take your right knee back. Extend the bottom side of the waist so you have room to come over. Then turn your chest more and more to the ceiling. And look up toward the ceiling if it's all right on your neck. If it doesn't feel good on your neck, look towards the floor. Now straighten your right leg. Take your left arm to the center, towards the ceiling. Inhale, come up. Turn your feet forward. Turn to the left. Take your left arm down, Trikonasana. Take your right arm on your waist. Move your left hip forward. Roll your right thigh out. Roll your abdomen towards the ceiling. Then take your right arm over your head. Pressing down through both feet. Move your left hip forward. Then bend your left leg. Move your knee back as you move your hip forward. Rotate your abdomen more and more towards the ceiling. And then just follow that rotation with your head. Unless it's uncomfortable in your neck. Look forward. Straighten your front leg. Lift your right arm up. Press through your right foot. Inhale, come up. Turn your feet forward. And come back to Tadasana. Roll your shoulders back. Oh, good. I'm seeing the warm clothes be removed. Success. Bring your hands in front of your chest. Take your arms and legs wide. All right. Turn to the right. Take your right arm down. Take your left hand on your hip. Roll your left thigh out. Tuck your right buttock under. Give more space to move the torso. So if you stick your buttocks behind you, you'll fold forward. So move your buttocks forward and your chest back. Walk your break a little further forward than you normally do to get length on this side of the body, the bottom side, the right side for you. Take your left arm up and bring it out over your head. Then keeping the length in the right side of the torso, bend your right leg. Roll your chest towards the ceiling. Look up. Keep the work of the legs going. Mine went a little soft there. Then look forward. Bring your left hand on your hip. Keep this rotation of the torso, and we're going into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. So step the left leg in. Rotate the chest again. Move the right arm forward. Rotate the chest again. Keep the right leg bent as you lift the left leg up. What? There we go. Rotate your chest. Then straighten your bottom leg, rotate your chest. And just for fun, take the left arm over your head like you've been doing. So the left arm, I can't see, is like a Parigasana arm. Then bend the front leg, reach back with the left leg, come into, Parsvakonasana. Straighten your right leg, lift your left arm up, inhale, come all the way up. Change sides. Take a breath. Take your left arm down. Take your right hand to your waist. All right. So move both buttocks forward, but it's an external rotation in the hips. Even though the back leg is somewhat internally rotated or at least straight, you want to think about turning it out. This will help you bring the buttocks forward. Now, keep that work in the legs. Take your left hand a little further forward than you normally do. And then use that to lengthen the left side of the torso. Keep the length in the left side of the torso as you bend your left leg. And hopefully, for those that are more built like me, which is very few of you, you'll feel less crunching in this bottom area. I think everyone feels that, even if you're thin. All right, take your right arm up, take it out over your head. Stretch. Oh, I didn't think we did it this way. Okay, bring it back on your head. We did it at the end. All right, step your left leg in. Your right leg in. I'm out of practice. Take your left arm forward. All right. Then lift your right leg up. And then straighten your left leg. Take your right arm over your head, like Parigasana. You end up touching the wall, then just use the wall. Or wish you had a wall. All right, bend your front leg. Reach back. Come into Parsvakonasana. Trikonasana. And stand back up. Stand your feet together. Tadasana. Take your feet hip width apart. Fold forward. Uttanasana. You can grab the opposite elbow if that's something that works for you. Press the weight of your body downward. See if you're leaning back into your heels. That actually takes some of the stretch away. Place your hands on your hips, elbows to the ceiling. Inhale, come all the way up. All right. So we're going to do Vrikshasana, tree pose. So if this pose causes you panic, then you're going to take your elbows back like this. Actually, I can show here. And use your elbows as support at the wall. And then bring the leg up like this. All right. So stand Tadasana, bring your hands to your hips, elbows back. So everyone can do this even if you're not at the wall. Turn your right leg out. Lift your right leg up. I'm not close enough to the wall. There we go. All right. Press down evenly with the inner and outer foot of the left leg. Then move the right buttock forward to take the right knee back. All right, if your elbows are at the wall, keep your keep your left elbow at the wall and lift your right arm up. If they're not at the wall, you can lift both arms up. Then lower both arms, and lower your leg. Reset. Turn your left leg out. Lift your left leg up. Flat. I am way off today. Probably help if I didn't look down at the computer screen. All right. So move both hips, move your left buttock forward to take your left knee back. Make sure there's even weight on your standing leg so that it's not all rolling to the little toe or big toe side. More likely it's going to roll to the little toe side. And then the bent knee arm goes up. Maybe I did it the opposite the other time. I'm pretty sure. And then possibly the other arm. Bring your arms down, release your leg. Take your feet wide for Prasarna Padottanasana. Take your hands on your hips, elbows back, lift your chest. Exhale, fold forward. Bring your hands to the floor. Look forward. Then walk your hands back and lower your head toward the floor.
Keep your thighs lifting up. Front thighs, back thighs, lifting to the ceiling. Also move your shoulders up, away from your ears. As your shoulders lift up, there's room for the neck to release down. Walk your hands forward, lift your chest, look forward. Place your hands on your hips, come all the way back up and back to Tadasana. All right. Time for upside downness. So you might have a headstander. You might do headstand, Sirsasana. We won't be there very long. We're going to do headstand, a little handstand, maybe a little Pincharanayasana. So figure out what you're going to do. If you're doing headless headstand, that's okay too. So that looks like this. So find something to do and then do it. One thing that's really good about inversions is they help with allergies. Now, if you're really having sinus problems, like really, really bad, then they don't help that much. But if you're just a little, if your nose is running and you kind of have a like slight sinus headache, nothing major, then they help. Any kind of inversion. It doesn't have to be, Shirshasana or, handstand or whatever. Even if you're hanging or in the headstander or doing a headless headstand, all those help. For those in Shirshasana and headless, press your forearms into the floor, move your shoulder blades away from the floor. Keep your neck soft. All right, bend your knees, come down. Or however you come down, one leg at a time, two legs at a time. Rest with your forehead down. Yes. Correct. Arms forward, arms back, I don't care. All right, come back up. Okay, so there's L pose, either, this way or this way. Discovered I don't like doing handstand on the mat. Okay, or Adho Mukha Vrikshasana, one leg forward, one leg back. Kick up,
be there for a few seconds, come back down, switch legs. Kick up or not. So, there we go. All right. Do that till you're tired. This also helps with the allergies. I don't know, Karen, if you know, but we had the second highest cedar pollen day recently that's ever been on record. It was 30,000 something. High is like over 500. And one time in January, I went to Devon's class, or Saturday morning to our class, and she said, if you do 20 of these kick-ups, it'll help with the cedar allergies. And she's right, if you have the energy to do 20 of those. But the other thing it does, it actually does a lot of things. So it heats you up. You know, this is like a weird form of mountain climbers, if you guys know that exercise. And it teaches you how to kick up with both legs or opposite leg. It also teaches you how to balance. Because eventually you learn to kick up and not hit the wall. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, all right, you look dumb. So, Pechamayurasana, either the setup or the whole thing. I must be a little out of practice. I didn't have any of my props out, other than shoulder stand. So if you have a strap shoulder width. All right, and then we'll all do the first one. So we'll take the strap shoulder width, and you place your hands on the wall, elbows on the wall, and then move your chest towards the floor. Like this. So you want your elbows in line with your hips. Carry you to walk your feet a little further forward towards the wall. That's better. All right, you can look at your hands and see if they're coming together. They like to do that. Keep your abdomen pulled in as you move your chest towards the floor. All right, and then come back up. So you can either repeat that, or you can have a block between your hands like this. And put that on the floor. It doesn't work as well with at the wall. I mean, a block up the wall. You can do it this way. So this would be another option. Or come to here, walk in, and then the kick up is just like handstand, except you're looking at the floor. Actually, you look at the floor and handstand too, if you ever want to balance. This one, you don't have to pick up so many times. So, hands at the wall. Try to lift your left arm up and your left hip up. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Armpits open towards the center of the room, much as possible. Take a rest. Try the other leg. All gets new again. And then come back down. All right. Put that kit to the side. And then you're gonna kneel on the floor and you wanna be close to that wall again. We're gonna do Ustrasana. So you might want a blanket for your knees. You guys know that I'm not that much of a blanket person. Got lots of padding. And then we're gonna get up close and personal to the wall like this. Reach your arms up to the wall and lift up. So we'll do the first one like this. The second one will look like this. The hands will come to the hips. And then you'll keep the hips at the wall. Come back a little bit. And then the third one, hips to the wall, lean back, hands back. Whoop, there we go. Now, if your hands don't reach, then take, some blankets or a bolster or whatever, and put it on your heels. Make your heels taller. All right. So get close to the wall. Then you don't want your knees all the way at the wall, although the baseboard might help a little bit if you have one of those. But you want something, either, for me, it's the tops of my thighs that actually hit the wall before my hips do, but something at the wall to give you feedback. Then walk your hands up the wall and get taller. Press your shins into the floor to move your thighs forward. Then sit back down on your heels. Take a breath. Come back up. Place your hands on your hips. Thumbs towards your sacrum, fingers facing the wall. Press your shins into the floor to move your thighs towards the wall. Roll your shoulder back and lift your chest. Press down on your hips and grow tall. Then, from pretty much the tops of your thighs, lean back. Take your elbows towards each other, lift your chest higher and higher. Lean back, lift your chest, lean back. Come back up, sit back down on your heels. All right, one more. Come back up. Place your hands on your hips, roll your shoulders back. Lift your chest. Get your chest higher and higher. Roll your shoulders back. Bring your elbows towards each other. Lean back. Lift your chest. Lean back. Lift your chest. Reach back with your hands. Place them on the support. Press your shins into the wall. Press your shins. Where are your shins? Shins are on the floor. To move your thighs towards the wall. Then come back up and sit back on your heels. All right, move away from the wall. You can keep your support on your heels if you wish. Press your shins into the floor. Take your hands to your hips. So you're kneeling up, like one more Ustrasana. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. Press your buttocks toward your knees. And keep your thighs parallel to the floor. As you press your buttocks towards your knees, lift your chest. Roll your shoulders back. Then take your torso back. Reach down with your arms. Grab something. your heels, the blocks, and blankets. Press down with your shins to move your thighs forward, but at the same time, take your abdomen back and lift your chest. Then press with your shins, inhale, come up, and sit back down on your heels. All right. It is now time for Chatush or Sitivanda Sarvangasana or Sarvangasana. So Chatush Padasana looks like this. And then you can bring the block in. And then the only difference between this and Sitivanda is that the legs are straight. And Sitivanda Sarvangasana, like this. Or regular Sarvangasana. So set up for what you're gonna do. All of these are good for the allergy issues. I think probably Sitivanda is the best of the three for allergy issues. It has the most chest opening, and followed by Chatush, and then followed by shoulder stand. But that doesn't mean that you'll find the same thing. It's true. If you're one of the lucky people in Austin that does not have cedar allergies, give it time. Probably haven't been here long enough. Maybe you'll never get them. Maybe you're fortunate that way. So I mentioned this before the break, but in shoulder stand or any of these poses, soften your neck first. If your neck is still tight, you get an extra blanket, or put a blanket under your shoulders if you're doing Chatush. Something so that you're not feeling too much strain in your neck. Now your neck can stretch, but you shouldn't be clenching your jaw or your throat, or feeling like your head is bent in half, which it pretty much is. And once you have that going, you can press your upper arms into the mat. And by pressing your upper arms down, it lengthens your body up if you're in shoulder stand, and it opens your chest in whatever pose you're in. And just like, we did Parigasana and we did Ustrasana. So this section is the same. You move the buttocks forward and the thighs back. And that keeps you in one leg. And even if you're in the other poses, the Chatush or Sitivanda, it has the same effect. It's the same instruction. All right, those, let's see, Kathy, move your hips forward a little bit towards your head. You're like, yeah, right. All right. Suzette, turn your left leg in a little bit. Yes. Try both feet in just a touch, not a lot. Yeah. So looks good. You can take your thighs back just a touch. Yeah. Looks good, Karen. Hard to, I can't straighten my legs in that pose. I don't know what's going on. All right, work your way down. So if you're on a block, you're gonna lift your hips, lower the block to its lowest level, and then lower them back. If you're in shoulder stand, slowly roll out. Those with the block, remove the block. Yep. All right, roll to your side and lift yourself up. So I actually left enough time for some seated poses. Because one of my favorite poses is Parivrtta Janushirtasana. So we're going to do Janushirtasana, and then we'll do the Parivrtta version. So start in Dandasana. I'm worried about lowering the camera, but I will try. There we go. Ah, it worked. Okay, so if you can't sit on the floor with your legs straight in Dandasana and your back straight, sit on a blanket. All right. And then bend your right leg in. It's my actual right. And let the knee go out to the side. So if you're using the blanket, you have to scoot to the left to let your leg go out to the side. I'm going to turn at an angle so it's easier to see. All right, so left leg straight forward. This is very similar to Vrikshasana, but with a little more room. So if you're flexible, your right heel will touch the inner thigh. Let me switch. Right heel will touch the inner thigh. If you're not quite as flexible on the hips, it'll be the opposite thigh, more like Vrikshasana. And you want this foot a little open. I don't know if you can, I'll move this leg out of the way, so that the top of the foot is actually as much on the floor as possible. The bottom of the foot is facing the ceiling. Because that comes more importantly in Parivrtta. Then turn towards your straight leg. Take your right hand over your left leg and turn more. At the same time, take the outer right hip down. So that has to go down. The bent leg hip stays down as you turn to the straight leg. Then one hand either side of the straight leg. No, it could be on the shin, the foot. The strap. Inhale, lift up. Descend the right torso towards the floor as you come forward. Press the left thigh down. Press the outer right hip down. So all the work we did in the beginning of the class with the opening of the side body comes in here. Because by pressing the outer right hip down, You need a lot of space to come forward. Inhale, come back up. And then change sides. So come to Dandasana. And I'm at a slight angle here, and that may throw you off, but it's easier to see my legs that way. And then, oh, I'm switching. Bend your left leg up and let it come to the side. Bring your heel in close. So either opposite leg, and then see if you can roll the bottom of your foot more and more towards the ceiling. This also comes into play when we do poses like Siddhasana, which I don't teach very often because people will do it instead of Sukhasana if you teach it too much. It's more comfortable on the ankles. All right. Then turn to your right, towards the straight leg. And press the outer left hip down. Then one hand either side of your right leg. Holding the foot, holding the strap, holding the leg. Now, as you hold the leg, remember about the opposite hip. So remember to push your left hip down and then bring your left torso down as you come forward. Just keep pushing through your left hip. Trying to get the back of the left thigh down. As you come further and further forward over the straight leg, press the straight leg thigh down. Then inhale, come back up. Keep this leg back. So it's the same leg. All right, now this leg, the straight leg, your right leg, take it out a little bit. And then pull this heel in. So so if you're having a hard time staying upright, then sit on a corner like this, and that'll turn your hips forward. It's coming out of the pose a little bit, but if you can stay like this, then stay like this. All right, so when we did Jani Shirshasana, we turned towards the right leg. Now turn towards the bent leg. So this is Parivrita Jani Shirshasana, which I no longer care. I'm teaching what I want. Fire me. All right. Turn towards the bent leg more and more. All right. So actually just watch for a second. So turn yourself towards the camera. So I turn towards the bent leg more and more, and then I keep looking this way as I come forward. I keep looking this way as I walk this hand and see if I can find the leg somewhere around here. And if I find my foot, this arm position, so we start here, I turn my palm up and I grab my foot. Then this is going to look very familiar. I take my bent leg arm over my head. All right. And then if I'm really flexible, I grab here, I walk forward, and turn towards the ceiling. All right. So turn towards your bent leg. Then keep your chest turning towards your bent leg as much as you can, and bring your right hand forward. Yes. It helps if you take your left hand on your sacrum, because that helps remind you to turn this way. Now walk your right hand over to your right foot and see if it just happens to be there. If it happens to be there, turn your palm up and grab your foot with your hand. Okay. Keep pressing your right thigh down and take your left arm up, extend up, and bring it out over your head. Then, yeah, you can do it that way too, Karen. Then, if you're close to, or you're touching your right foot with your left hand, sneak your right hand out and walk it forward. And then walk it back out. And that'll help you get a little more in. And to come out, I didn't show this on the demo. Turn towards the floor in the center. This is a little easier on the back way to come out. And then walk back in. Change sides. So Parivrtta Janu Shirshasana is a lot wider. Although in the book, they're both pretty wide. But this one's definitely wider. So turn your foot, this is your right foot towards the ceiling. Heel in close. All right. Now turn towards your bent knee, turn towards the right. Keep your left thigh pressing down. Then take your right hand on your hip, walk your left hand forward. Keep rotating to the right as you walk your left hand towards your left leg. Grab the foot if it's nearby. So it's this weird turned grab of the foot. Roll your right shoulder back. I didn't say that last time, should have. All right, and then take your right arm over your head like Parigasana. If it reaches your foot, you do collapse a little bit. So you have to walk your left hand forward and kind of sneak underneath your right arm and come back in. Parivrtta Janu Shirshasana, revolved head of the knee pose. I also should have mentioned that the opposite hip does most likely leave the floor. Then turn towards the floor, walk to the center, and walk back up. Stretch your legs out. Press your thighs down, spread your toes. If there's a pose I do every day, it's probably this one. But that's really because it's easy for me, and there's most days I like easy. Come forward. But the other thing is, of course, that if you do it every day, it becomes easy for you. Press your thighs down, spread your toes. You can rest your forehead on something. Rest your chin. Walk your hands back in. Take your legs together. Dandasana, press your hands down, lift your chest, roll your shoulders back. Press your thighs down, lift your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Grab your legs, pull yourself forward. It's nice if you have a block nearby, you can use that for your head. Press your thighs down. Paschimottanasana. All right, come back up. Set up for Shavasana. So, put your socks on. My socks are pretty far off camera. Lie back. You can take your feet apart, your knees together. This lets the
the back spread, even like, we do this sometimes in class and I ask if anyone's having back pain, usually after back bends, but forward bends can do the same thing. And I push into your knees, but you can do this yourself by pressing your heels into the ground and away from you, and that will make your back spread on the floor. And then once you're comfortable, you can either stay in that position or come to regular Shavasana. Let the weight of your body release to the floor. Soften your neck and throat. Release your jaw. Rest your tongue into the base of your mouth. And use the next few moments to focus on your breath. Deepen your breath. Bend your knees. Roll to your side. Lift yourself up. Take your arms wide, lift your chest. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Think of something you're grateful for. Namaste. Happy New Year, y'all.